VP5?
My name is Bob Pettway. I was in VP5 from September of 1961 to March of 1964.
And what was your rating?
I was an aviation electronics technician, third class petty officer.
And were you friends with, or you knew the lost crew members?
I knew them. I knew all of them except the Dr. Brown. Of course, I'd never met Dr. Brown, but I knew the others. There were a couple that were pretty good friends of mine. One that was one of my running mates, Norman Russell. We used to hit the beach a lot together. But yes, I knew all the crew members except the doctor that was kept with it.
Okay, and now, Mr. Pettway, you were one of the instrumental people in trying to encourage the government in sending a second recovery mission. Could you tell us a little bit about your efforts in that?
Yes, back in, I retired in '96 from the government, and I had very few contacts with the old squadron that I'd kept up, but I had one that a friend of mine, and he started telling me about the VP Navy website. Told me that they had some pictures, some old crew pictures on there, and I was in one of them. So, I got on the internet and went to the VP Navy website, and it was then that I discovered that this was the year 2000, that I discovered that the LA-9 aircraft had been discovered. I had wondered for 40 years whatever happened. I got out of the Navy in '64 and went back to Atlanta and began going to college at night and working Lockheed in the day. And if it was on the national news in '66 when they found the aircraft, I missed it. I never knew it. And so then I wondered for 40 years what had happened to that crew. We all presumed back in '62 that they went down at sea. Anyway, I discovered on the site that they had about them being located in 1966, and then I became curious, and I used the internet to try to find out more information about the incident. And I wrote letters to the Navy to get for freedom of information, for more information from the Navy Department. I ended up getting congressional help and assistance from my congressman to get information from the Navy about the incident. And I tracked down Dr. Brooks through the internet. Actually, my first attempt was to a library that I found on the web about Greenland Library. And I contacted a librarian up there who told me about Dr. Brooks and how I might reach Dr. Brooks. She didn't find anything in her library about LA-9 and the crash and so forth, but she put me in touch with Dr. Brooks. And then my first communication with Dr. Brooks, he told me about having gone back to the crash site in 1995, and after, he was under the impression from 1966 that all of the remains had been recovered. He said he went back there in '95 and that there were still human remains there at the crash site. And that's what started.
And was you finding that out? Was that the first time where that family members and those squad members were able to find out that there were still remains up there?
Yes, that's what started the quest. That just didn't sit well with me, and I thought about it for some time whether or not to let the family members know. It's been 40 years, but eventually we did that, and I had several others helping me. Don Latimer was instrumental in locating people. Don's very good at he's a genealogist, and he was very good at locating families and surviving family members of those crew members 40 years after the fact. We had some tough ones. We had a name like Smith. We had one Smith. We had one Brown. people moved, people died. It was tough to find the next of kin on quite a few of them. But we have located all of the next of kin of all 12 that are still alive. We found the families and got the families involved in trying to get the Navy to go back and make a second full recovery.
And in your efforts in trying to get the Navy and the government to second recovery, I understand that they're calling this incident a peacetime mishap, as well as the incident from 1946 in the Antarctic. Can you tell us what you know about what this has to do with recovering the bodies or not?
Well, that is that's what they said initially, that the LA-9 incident, as well as the George 1 incident in Antarctica, were peacetime mishaps, and they did not fall under the umbrella of the law that was passed by Congress for recovery of U.S. military personnel killed overseas during, where was it? During wartime.
Yeah, during wartime, it's the law that was passed.
So that the LA-9 incident and the George 1 incident fell kind of in a bureaucratic crack, where there were no funds provided for this type of recovery, and that that's what it took a lot of effort, a lot of mailing campaign nationwide, and members of the family and friends of the deceased crew became involved in a lot of petitions to Congress. I think we're past that. I think they're going to find the funds, and I believe it's going to happen. Just a matter of time.
Okay. Is there anything else that you think you'd like to add?
No, I'm so tempted to, but no, I'm not going to get bitter. I'm not going to blast the government. No, I'll let it ride.
Okay.
We just want I just want to see them recovered. It's been, as far as I'm concerned, a national disgrace, but to left them there.